Welcome back to Crypto DeepDive, the podcast where we unpack the latest, the biggest, and the most impactful stories from the world of blockchain and crypto. I'm Laurie, your guide through the chaos.
And I'm Nick, always great to join you for another deep dive into what's shaping crypto today.
Before we get diving deep, let's do our usual spiel and look at the markets. There is a lot of green on the screen today with a bit of macro movement, tariff action, and the US and the UK announcing somewhat of a trade deal. Today, Thursday, 8 May 2025. Things stand as follows. Bitcoin stands at USD 101,103. Ethereum is sitting at about USD 2,127. XRP is at 2.2708. We've got XLM at about 28.5 cents. Sol is at around $160, and ADA is trading at around 74 cents. So today's topic is one that's been dominating headlines, XRP and Ripple. With legal news, market movements, and some bold strategic plays, there's a lot happening. Let's get into it, Nick. The big one first. The legal drama with the SEC, what's the latest?
Yeah, this is a major story that's been unfolding for years. Ripple has been locked in a legal battle with the US Securities and Exchange Commission since late 2020. The SEC alleges that Ripple sold XRP as an unregistered security, but now things might be winding down. As of today, May 8, the SEC is holding a closed-door meeting, and while that doesn't confirm anything just yet, there's strong speculation that they're moving towards settling or dropping some parts of the case.
That's definitely caught the community's attention. Why is this meeting so important?
Because if the SEC signals a reduced penalty, drops the appeal, or softens its position on institutional XRP sales, it could mean that Ripple finally gets some regulatory clarity. That would potentially unlock XRP's listing on major US exchanges that have been hesitant and generally remove a long-standing barrier to broader adoption.
So, we're potentially looking at the end of a multi-year regulatory shadow?
Exactly, and markets are responding. We're already seeing bullish sentiment creep in, with XRP posting double-digit weekly gains in anticipation. Investors are watching every SEC move like hawks right now.
Fascinating, but legal battles aren't the only thing moving the needle. Ripple just released its Q1 report. What did that reveal?
That's right. Ripple published its Q1 2025 XRP markets report, and the numbers are quite impressive. We saw a 50% quarter-over-quarter increase in XRP volume, but more importantly, institutional interest is ramping up. The report cites over $37 million in net inflows into XRP-focused investment products, suggesting that large investors are gaining confidence in XRP's future.
That's a big shift. XRP was largely seen as a retail darling until recently.
Definitely. What we're seeing now is XRP maturing into an asset class that institutions want a piece of. It helps that Ripple is proactive in pushing for use cases beyond cross-border payments, which used to be their bread and butter.
And that brings us to another development. The CME Group is launching XRP futures, right?
Yep, on May 19th, the CME Group, which is the world's largest derivatives exchange, is set to debut XRP futures. This is a huge validation. When institutional players like CME embrace a token, it boosts credibility, opens the door to more sophisticated investment strategies, and usually drives volume up.
Futures trading can sometimes bring volatility too, though.
It can, and it probably will, but it also brings liquidity and a level of price discovery that's essential for long-term stability. If nothing else, it shows that the big players believe XRP is here to stay.
All right, let's switch gears to DeFi, where Ripple hasn't traditionally been a frontrunner, but there's something brewing on the XRP Ledger. What can you tell us about Xpfinance?
This is really exciting. Xpfinance just launched a pre-sale for its XPF token. It's billed as the first non-custodial lending and borrowing protocol built on the XRP Ledger. That's a big deal because DeFi has been one of the few areas where XRP hasn't had a strong foothold. This could open the floodgates.
And the response so far?
Early indicators are very bullish. Analysts expect it to reach 10% of its hard cap within the first 48 hours. That's remarkable. It shows there's appetite for DeFi innovation in the XRP ecosystem, and more broadly, it points to the network evolving beyond just payments.
Interesting to see XRP diversify like that. And finally, Ripple's new acquisition. This one feels like a power move.
It is. Ripple is acquiring Hidden Road, a prime brokerage firm, for a reported $1.25 billion. The aim is to integrate this into Ripple's operations and expand its institutional DeFi capabilities. Hidden Road brings a strong set of tools for trade execution, risk management, and liquidity access.
So this could bring more financial institutions into the Ripple ecosystem?
That's the idea. If Ripple can fold Hidden Road into the XRP Ledger, it could mean seamless access to global markets, faster settlements, and enhanced security, all with blockchain transparency. That's the future Ripple is building toward.
So, to recap, we've got a potential regulatory win, increased institutional buying, new financial instruments, DeFi expansion, and a billion-dollar acquisition.
That's a lot of momentum packed into one quarter. The next few weeks and even days could significantly reshape the XRP narrative. Whether you're a long-time holder or just tuning in, now's a great time to pay attention.
Couldn't agree more. That wraps up today's Crypto Deep Dive. Thanks for walking us through it all, Nick.
Always a pleasure, Laurie. Let's see what the next day or two brings.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, keep diving deep.